What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and at the end of the video, we're going to take a look at the Dow and the Dow futures and see what might be happening there. We could be looking at some low prices. We'll take a look at both scenarios, so definitely stick around for the whole video. Check it out. Don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's totally free. Awesome community. Let's get on with it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, investment advice, none of that. There is a disclaimer scrolling down the bottom, and always remember, this is my opinion, not yours. Let's get into it. So we're going to take a look at the headlines just to get a feel for the sentiment. Here's how to predict major moves on the price of Bitcoin, whatever. More Monday carnage, U.S. futures plummet. Bitcoin just reversed, and it's vulnerable to drop towards yeah, that was 5 hours ago. Trading legend Peter Brandt spots ugly Bitcoin price pattern, blow to Bitcoin as Russia moves to effectively ban crypto. Bitcoin may be one of the last assets still trading in a few places, so pretty bearish. Let's take a look at the crypto fear and greed index. We are at 10, extreme fear. We dropped 1 point from yesterday. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and see what's going on. All right, so on the monthly, as you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, this 9200 is going to be key. Obviously, the 55 EMA down here at the $46 level, $46.50, should, we would hope, hold as support. But let's take a look at, oh yeah, my wife's webpage, inkyorimage.com. She can put anything on any of this stuff, not only just what you see here. If you like other cryptos or family pictures, whatever, it's quality stuff. As you can see here, it's not junk. So definitely check it out. Hats, t-shirts, aluminum signs, coffee mugs. And there's also hoodies and long sleeve tees, socks, some other stuff she doesn't have listed here. You can hit her up in the contact to get more info. All right. The link is down below, inkyorimage.com. So anyways, let's look at the weekly. So the weekly, our main thing on this we've been watching is the RSI, and we'll take a look at that in a second. I do have this trend line off of the bottom over here showing the worst case scenario is 25, but I actually do have a lower possibility, but we'll take a look at that here in a minute. But if we look at the EMAs, they have all crushed bearish. Unless we get a nice rise and a push up today, our 21 EMA is about to cross 55, guys. That is extremely bearish. A lot is probably going to depend on what happens in the Dow. Like I said at the end of the video, we're going to take a look at that. So let's take a look at the RSI. This is the weekly RSI that we've been watching. And for those of you that aren't familiar, there is a red support and resistance line here. Back in 2014, we capitulated below it, broke back above it in 15. Tested it for support and got support and continued our bull run until 2017. 2018, same thing. We capitulated below it, popped back above it in 19, tested it for support, got support. We had our run, and now we are below it again. So this is going to be key to watch here, guys, and see what happens. Do we have another drop, or are we going to break through and close above this? A close on the weekly above this will be a good sign, but we may have some more downward action before then. Let's take a look at, if you guys are interested in trading, also, I've worked a deal out with Dudex. They have an awesome tool in there that is risk management tool. Definitely check it out. Awesome exchange. I worked out a deal with them. There is links down below. I'll leave a tutorial up top, but they you can get up to $110 bonus. Most other people, you only get a $70 bonus. So definitely check it out. Even if you have an account already, sign up with a new one. You can get the 110 off of mine. Anyways, all right, let's look at my moves here. So right now it seems to be we may be in a rising wedge or a rising channel. We'll look at it in the 4 hour also. It looks almost like a wedge here. Like we could have a move up to this 77 possibly, but first off, we would have to break 61.50. Right now we are getting resistance on the 8 EMA, which is sitting right at 59.70, right in that area. But if we can cross back above this trend line here where we keep getting rejected, and test that 64 again, if we can break that, 72 would be the next target. If we can break that, yeah, if we can break that, about $77 to $8,000 range, depending. This is the golden retracement up here, so keep an eye on that. But if we do break below this 57.03, which I believe is more likely, we're going to come back down and retest this 54. If that breaks, we have a measured move here. If we take a measured move of this, the widest point to where we would break down, if we were to break down today past the 5400, but actually past about the 57, if we lose 57, we should be headed to 54. We may get a little support on this trend line around 48, but the measured move off of that, guys, gets us down to about the $3,600 range. So I know that doesn't sound fun, but that is a possibility. Also, we could look at this whole thing as a flagpole, this being a bear flag, and the measured move down to all the way to $2,000. Do I think that's going to happen? It's a possibility. I think it's less likely. I would expect a bounce here at the $3,500 or $3,600 range, which would be a stop hunt from anybody that longed here and put their shorts below this wick. That would get down, collect the shorts, get a nice push up. In my opinion, that is possibly what could happen, but keep in mind, it all depends. If we break this 3,700 here, we're most likely at least heading to 54, and then we could look at these lower lows. We also could get some support on this trend line here around 41 to 4,200, but we'll see what happens when we get there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up, guys. It really helps the channel out. Share the video if you can, and leave your comments down below. Do you think we're going to go up today a little bit before going down? And let's see what happens. Let's go into the 4 hour. Well, actually, we got to look at the RSI real quick. So by looking at the RSI, we had this rising channel here, which we dipped out of just a bit here. And if we look at the blue lines I have in here, was a falling broadening wedge that we popped out of. It does look like we could come back down and retest this for support, and that's what would get our move down to these ranges here. We'll keep an eye on it, and I do daily updates every single day, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos so you don't miss out on anything. Now we're going to take a look at in the 4 hour. I have the same thing, this rising channel in here where we are getting support as of right now. I do have some measured moves here. Actually, this 48.84 was looking at this. Let me see if I can zoom in so you guys can see it before we move on to Litecoin and Ethereum. But I was looking at this as a flagpole. This is a possible bear flag, and the measured move off that was around 48, 4,900. I'm not thinking that would hold. Like I said, I'm more looking towards the 38. Let's see, where was I here? Yeah, 35. So on here, I have a measured move. Let's get this. Measured move of that falling channel, a break of that falling channel would be about the 38 to 3,900. But if we look at it over in the daily, that same move gets us down to about 36. So, yeah, we'll find out if it does break. But remember, we got to support at this 5,400. So if that breaks, I'd be looking for the 48, 38, 36. But if we look at the RSI, well, let's talk about the bullish case. The bullish case is if we continue up from here and can cross back over the EMAs, which are bearish. All of my 8, my 13, and my 21 have crossed over. That's pretty bearish, guys. If we can't get back above at least the 8 here at $5,990 to $6,000 range, which we also have this trend line here. If we can break above and close a 4 hour above the $6,000 range, it's possible we could continue up and retest the 64 again. This is a very crucial area, guys. So if we can break the 64, then we would be looking back up to around the 7,200, which would also line up with the 200 EMA. And then, of course, the 7,700 that we had talked about a few minutes ago to retest the top of this, which would also line up with this long-term support and resistance line at 7,700. And 7,800 would be retesting this trend line. For those of you that don't know, this trend line we've had here forever. This was our bottom trend line off the bottom wicks. I cloned that and put it on each one of these wicks over here. I put one on this wick, this wick, this wick, and these have been significant. As you can see, when we climbed up over here, there were support and resistance on the way up, support and resistance on the way down. So, yep, that's what I'm looking at. We got to watch this area here, guys. If we look at the RSI, we are in a rising channel. Question is, do we get one more push up before continuing down, or a push up and retest the top of this wedge? But I do believe we are going to break this support on the RSI probably pretty soon. Actually, we may have broken it now and are testing the bottom. So, yeah, it's looking bearish, guys, in my opinion. Let's go over to Litecoin. Same thing in Litecoin. If we're able to push up and get back up to this 39, break above that, then we have this top trend line around from the wedge around 42. If we could break the 42, next stop would be around the $47 to $48 range, which would line up with the 200 EMA here. But again, I'm leaning more bearish. If we break below 34.75, the measured move, looking at this as a rising channel, the measured move would be around the 23.3 range. I know that you don't want to hear that, but we could be all right as long as we don't break this 34 to 32 range. Looking at this as a bear flag, it's kind of long to be a bear flag. I guess we could take a measurement up here. That would be pretty ugly. But I've taken a measurement from right here, measuring this as a flagpole. This is a bear flag. Less likely, in my opinion, but it could happen. Around the $15 range, which would probably get us back down to retest this trend line here. Back over here, and that would be sometime at the end of April. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Litecoin, guys. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Well, first we'll go into the RSI. Let's take a look at the EMAs first. So on the EMAs, same as Bitcoin, on the 4-hour, we are getting rejected by the 8 EMA, and that's sitting about the 36.74. The 55 EMAs are around the 38.8. So we'll see what happens here, but it does, like I said, guys, it does look pretty bearish. Let's look at the RSI. RSI, same thing, rising channel within this falling broadening wedge that we kind of had a bull trap here. So yeah, that's still looking pretty bearish to me, guys. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum's got the same thing on the RSI in the 4-hour. Rising channel. Ethereum has broken through, retested, got rejected, and looks like it's headed back down. Again, we could have one big move up still. If we can get back above the 137, I would be looking for the 155. After that, 166, and that's going to line up somewhere around the, actually 170 to 172, around the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. But again, guys, if we break this 118, 119 area, we're most likely headed down, and the measured moves on these are 79.21, depending on where we break, but right around there, which would also be close to retesting this trend line here. We also have this trend line off of these wicks up here. Actually, let me straighten that out a little bit. And right in this area. And so if we look at this here as a flagpole, this being the bear flag, the measured move of the flagpole to the breakdown gets us around the 31.81. I know that's ugly, but it is a possibility. But I would expect some serious support here around the $79-80 range if we do break out of the bottom of this. Like I said, if we can get a nice push up, a lot depends on what the Dow does. The traditional markets, Dow, all that stuff. So we'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, unless we break the $118 range, you know, we don't have to worry about these lower lows, but keep an eye on it. We'll see. Let's look at the pre-market, and I'll do a refresh real quick. All right, so the pre-market, the Dow is down 623 points, so it looks like we might drop, but that could change. We could get a nice little pump at the beginning, but I'm going to show you some ugly things on the Dow now real quick. So we've had this forever. You can watch my channel from months ago. We've had this rising channel in here, and I had said if we broke down through the bottom of this, which we did, my measured move off of that is the 16.8. We also have the 0.786 from this swing low to this swing high, and that's around the 18.448. So we'll probably get a bounce down here, maybe come back up and retest this. Now, the other thing I'm looking at here, the ugliest thing, is looking at this top resistance line, this bottom support line, looking like a megaphone, and the measured move of a megaphone breakdown, which we have broken the bottom of it, is around the 9,200. As crazy as that sounds, guys, if this 16.8 doesn't hold, I know people are talking about 10 and 12, but I believe this 9,200 is definitely a possibility. Let's take a closer look in here and look at what might happen today. So the bottom of this, let me move this over for you. We are down below that megaphone trend line. So the top of that line right now is around 19,450. If we can break above that and get support, we may come up and test, you know, the $20,000 range to $21,000 range. If we get a crazy pump, we could go as high as 23.4. I doubt that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. But if we don't, are not able to break above this 19,450, most likely headed to the 18.4 range. If that breaks, then we will get to my target at 16.8. And like I said, if that breaks, it's ugly, guys. And that is looking ugly. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Unless some miracle happened, I don't believe that the Dow is going to recover. The soonest I see it recovering is about 16.8. And if that breaks, like I said, 92, guys, believe it or not, that is possible. The world economies are not looking good. So let's see if Bitcoin can hold up. Thanks for watching the channel. Don't forget to click the CryptoSavy logo above my head to get you subscribed. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. I do post every day, do live streams once in a while. Also, smash that like button. Leave your comments. What do you think Bitcoin and traditional markets are going to be doing today? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks a lot. Let's try for 1,000 likes, guys. Yeah, that's it. Take it easy. Have a great day.